He is a no-good, trifling, low-down dog. Do you know when I was 6 months pregnant, this man decides to come in and tell me that he has another woman pregnant? I'm 6 months pregnant. At the same time?
She's the judge who gives rules on the law and life. She's intense with common sense. She's Judge Lynn Toller on Divorce Court, where real couples deal with real life. Michael and Ebony Young have been together for 9 years and married for the past 4. They have a young daughter and believed their marriage would stand the test of time. But now, after cheating accusations and lying, they can hardly stand to be around each other.
I go in my bathroom and there's a used condom in the toilet.
But she left me for another man.
Ebony says she's fed up with her husband's cheating and lying. Today on Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toller presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Ebony Young and Michael Young. Mr. and Mrs. Young, you have been married for 4 years, even though you've been together for the last 9. You have one child between you. Mrs. Young, you have brought Mr. Young here seeking $1,920 that you say you paid on Mr. Young's truck for 6 months, and I'm certain you're going to tell me more about that later. But before we do, Mrs. Young, I'm going to start out by asking you to tell me a little bit about your relationship and why we're here in divorce court today.
Your
You're
Honor,
very sparkly, by the way.
I am here because I am sick and tired of this man. He is a no-good, trifling, low-down dog. Do you know when I was 6 months pregnant, this man decides to come in and tell me that he has another woman pregnant? I'm 6 months pregnant. At the same time, Your Honor.
I'll take
and then,
hang on,
I'm not finished. I'm not done.
Hey.
I am not done. This is my time. I've been quiet for years, and this is my time to speak. When I reacted to the situation, Your Honor, I'm 6 months pregnant. My hormones is going crazy. I'm upset, and he tells me this. He drops this bombshell on me, and then he looks at me and asks me, why am I so upset? I should be happy. I should be happy that he even bothered to tell me at all.
Okay, now, Mrs. Young, now, other than that, which is pretty deep, and I'm going to get your opinion on that in a minute. Tell me another story that would lead me to believe that he is, in fact, a long-time cheater.
Your Honor, okay. So, my husband had some issues, money issues, okay? So, in North Carolina, there's not a lot of job offers. So, I decided to become a dancer. I would go and work on the weekends.
Right.
Your Honor, I come home one weekend from working to come in my house, and I go in my bathroom, and there's a used condom in the toilet. And I began to ask him about it. Your Honor, my husband stands there for a good 3 minutes staring at the condom as if it's gonna disappear. And then when he gets his words together, he decides to tell me, oh, well, my homeboy paid me some money to allow him to bring a girl in so they could have sex. Like, do I have boo-boo the fool written across my forehead?
Mr. Young, hang on, Mr. Young, what about the condom in the toilet? Can you explain that to me?
Okay, so I had a couple friends over, and they had some girls over, and he was in the room, and they ended up doing something. I got on him about it.
That don't even sound right. He's lying.
I didn't even know that
it don't even sound
condom
right.
was in the toilet when she came in and seen it, because I hadn't even been there.
Okay.
I told her about it.
I got it. I got that part. Now, explain to me about the baby. You telling her that you have another woman pregnant at the same time
That's
you
a
have
lie.
her.
That's a lie too, Yolanda.
You didn't tell her that.
No, Yana.
You didn't
happen?
No,
You don't have another son?
What happened, Yana, we were separated. I do have another son, but we were separated. We was not married at the time. We were separated, Yana. Not only was we separated, but she left me for another man. She left me for another. We had an apartment together, Yana. We had an apartment together. Not only did she leave, she left and locked the house up, took everything out of it, Yana.
He's lying.
And when I went to put my key in that door, Yana, it would not work. The people at the apartment complex told me that she'd have left and everything.
Your Honor,
did you pack up the apartment and go?
I did, but that was because I was tired of him. It wasn't me leaving him for another man.
But
it
Yana,
was
this
me.
was after that, though.
leaving him.
I was leaving
I had
him.
the baby after that.
Absolutely.
We were separated.
But yeah, I'm not done.
Go
I'm
ahead,
not
go
done.
ahead.
We haven't even scratched the surface
Go
yet.
ahead.
Okay.
Another situation with another female.
Right.
So we began to work on things and talk. We was living in separate households. And I got sick. I had 102 fever. And he told me, he said, babe, come over. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to watch the kids. You're sick. You can't take care of the kids. So I'm like, okay, thank you. Good deal. So I go over to his place, and I'm laying in bed with 102 fever, Your Honor.
I got
and his
that part.
phone is going crazy. So I decides to pick it up, and it's some girl texting him saying, oh, you shouldn't let her control you, and what are you doing with her? You need to just leave her alone. Your Honor, all these text messages. He had been seeing this chick the whole time. We supposed to been working our marriage out.
Your Honor, we were separated.
Oh,
we were separated.
Oh, no.
When divorce court continues, is Michael really allergic to bees or just allergic to hard work?
Only my husband is the only one in the world that decides to use that as an excuse to keep from going to work.
Your Honor.
Are you ready to kick your mate to the curb? Call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com and become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce Court is back with the case of Ebony Young, who claims her husband Michael is an equal opportunity liar.
Do you not work, and do you have physical reasons why you cannot work? Mrs. Young, you say that Mr. Young will do anything to avoid working. Explain that to me.
Wow, really?
Your Honor. So
She did.
my husband.
Wow.
She
No,
did.
she
So,
did.
no, get this. My husband was diagnosed with high blood pressure.
Right?
Not a real big deal if you take your medicine, exercise, and eat right. There's thousands, if not millions, of people living with high blood pressure, and they're just fine. Only my husband is the only one in the world that decides to use that as an excuse to keep from going to work.
Your Honor,
Your
can I
Honor,
tell you
now,
something?
I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
She lying, though,
Your
Your Honor.
Honor,
She lying.
Your Honor, I am not finished. Okay, so a family member of mine offered him a job working with him, doing some mechanical work, you know, and my husband was gone maybe an hour, and I get this phone call. My family members all upset. Ebony, you gotta get over here. Mike got stung. He's having an allergic reaction.
I'm allergic to bees, Your Honor.
I'm not finished. For as long as I've known my husband, he's always said he's allergic to bees and wasps. I race over there to see my husband sitting in the passenger seat. He's shaking and his eyes rolling all in the back of his head, and he's grabbing his chest. So I'm upset. You know, I'm worried about my husband. The EMS come and picks him up, and he's stretched out. Oh, baby, I'm dying. You know, and I'm worried.
Right.
So
She's
we
lying.
get to the hospital, and the doctors are asking him, do you have EpiPens? You know, because when you're allergic,
and
absolutely.
allergic reaction,
you know,
give
and he's
yourself a
like,
shot.
no. You know, they're running tests and taking blood for hours. They got patches on them. They're watching them, trying to figure out what's going on. About 4 or 5 hours later, the doctor decides to pull me to the side and says, Miss Young, there's absolutely nothing wrong with your husband.
Yeah,
And
she
in
lying.
fact, he isn't allergic to bees
Really?
or wasps.
Oh, he told you
Only
that.
thing your husband is searching for is attention. It's all that
Now,
was.
Mr. Young, I'm going to give you
She's lying,
opportunity
Your
to
Honor.
respond. Do you not work, and do you have physical reasons
Your
why
Honor.
you cannot work?
Your Honor, I just went back to work a month ago, but the same company that I'm working with right now as we speak is the company I was working with for 7 years. The whole time while she pregnant, the whole 9,
Your Honor.
I held it down, Your Honor. Okay,
Honor,
so
he's lying.
I'm thinking when a purpose is a couple, when one person can't do, the other person
When it
do.
works, right.
Right? That's what it's supposed to go down like that. No. Okay, when it's time for me to do, okay, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
You as a man,
husband.
you supposed to do this.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I do what I'm
Absolutely.
supposed to do as a man. But, Your Honor, when I was not working, I stayed home, took care of the kids, I cooked, I cleaned.
When divorce court continues, does Michael have issues even at church?
My husband says, okay, stop the car. He opens the car door. When he opens the car door, it hits the pastor
By
in the
mistake,
face.
Your Honor.
It knocks him down.
Your Honor.
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter @DivorceCourt. Divorce Court returns with the case of Michael Young, who claims his wife Ebony left him for another man. But will Judge Lynn order Michael to pay Ebony for use of the family car?
Because I've been making the payments on that vehicle, but he's had it.
My understanding is, Mrs. Young, that Mr. Young has a bad temper, so much so that he hit your pastor.
Oh, absolutely.
Tell me how that happened.
Let me tell you about this situation,
Yana.
the most embarrassing situation in our whole marriage. Okay, so we decide to go to church.
Right.
We're in church, and I agreed the service was holding way too long. It was like 2:30, 3 o'clock. It was time to go.
Right.
So they let out, and we're leaving. And the pastor comes out behind us, and he says, wait a minute, I want to speak with you guys. My husband's upset. He gets like a little kid when he's irritated, okay? No, just drive. Okay, so I'm the driver. My husband tells me to drive. I'm gonna do what my husband say, okay? So I go to pull out.
I find that a little hard to believe.
Okay, thank you, Yana. Thank you, Yana. Okay.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just fed up. I'm just fed
And
up.
she don't even know.
The situation was when the pastor comes out, my husband says, okay, stop the car. He opens the car door. When he opens the car door, it hits the pastor in the face.
Yana.
It knocks him down.
Yana.
He had to be helped up. My husband gets out the car and say, I didn't mean to do that, but let me tell you how you are. My husband stood out in the churchyard fussing and screaming for over 2 hours at the pastor and the congregation.
Mr. Young, did you holler out in front of the church for 2 hours?
Yana, I ain't never cussed. I ain't never disrespected.
Your Honor, you see what I'm saying?
And I accept that, Mr. Young.
Your Honor.
What were you upset about?
Okay, I'm gonna explain it to you. Okay, so we all get ready to leave. We go in the parlor, get in the car, me, my wife, and the kids. We get in the car, we pulling off. The pastor and the deacons come running at the car. They come running and jump in front of the car, Yana, tell me, stop this car. So I looked at her and said, no, I don't want to talk, keep going. So she said, okay, so she looks at me but ends up stopping the car. So when she stopped the car, he's running up to the car. So I'm from Detroit, Yana, I'm sorry. I'm from Detroit, Yana, and if somebody run up to your car like that, regardless, I felt like he was out of spirit.
Right.
Okay?
Your Honor.
I'm just keeping it real,
Your
Yana.
Honor.
I feel like
Your Honor.
Your Honor, he was out of spirit.
Your
He was in
Honor.
spirit. He left his whole flock. He left the whole flock in the church, Your Honor, and ran out the church after us.
Your Honor.
And then ran in front of the car. So when he ran out into I hurried up and opened the door because I don't know what he gonna do. Exactly. That instant
It's the pastor.
Stop.
And the door caught him. Yes, ma'am.
And he went down.
Yes, ma'am. And I got out and I was like,
what did you say after he went down?
but look, when he went down, I was like, yo, I'm sorry. Everybody crying and stuff. I'm sorry, I ain't mean that. You know, but he got up. When he got up, I proceeded to, I seen he was okay. So I told him how I was felt.
When Divorce Court continues, does Michael have a tendency to be flashy?
He wanted these shoes, Your Honor. These are alligator shoes with the eyes in them.
Divorce Court returns with the case of Michael and Ebony Young, who are in court to call it quits after 4 years of marriage.
Let me ask you this, Mrs. Young. What did he do when you told him he couldn't have his alligator shoes?
Oh, we went to Detroit. We met a family member of his in Detroit. You know, and we're out looking around shopping, and we go in this particular store, Your Honor. And my husband sees these alligator shoes. My husband is very flashy. He loves to be seen, okay?
I can
My
see that.
husband,
Well,
he wants these shoes.
you're over there in
He
sparklers.
wanted these shoes, Your Honor. These are alligator shoes with the eyes in them.
That I paid for, Your Honor.
Your Honor, he did not pay for these shoes. He asked me, could he buy them? I told him no, because that would have been all the money we pretty much had. We had to get back home. We had our children with us. He began to get upset, yell and scream. He began to cry. He went back in the store to his family member. He cried. He literally cried. My husband is a kid when he does not have his way.
How much did those shoes cost?
$1,200. And not only did he didn't stop there, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm not finished. He didn't stop there.
$1,200?
He had to have the belt to go with it. This is an $800 belt. Okay?
You spent $2,000 on some shoes and a belt?
No, his family member did.
No, yes, I did, Your Honor.
No, he didn't.
Yes, I just got through doing a job in Detroit for $6,000.
Your Honor.
And that's something, I already had them in layaway, so I had just paid to get them out of layaway. After I just got through doing a job giving her a $6,000 wedding ring. She ain't tell you that much either, though. I just got through giving her what she wanted.
That's not true.
That she pawned it for $2.
Hey. Are you two really rolling like that? You got that much money you can spend on $6,000 rings and I mean, there are people out there who can do it.
No, Your Honor.
I don't think you're among them. Mrs. Young. No. Tell me about the $1,920 that you're seeking from Mr. Young.
Your Honor, I want $1,920 from Mr. Young for a 2007 Outlander that I've paid for the past, I've paid for it the whole time.
She's supposed to.
We've had it.
It's her. She drives.
No, he has the vehicle. And all I'm asking for is the past 6 months.
6 months of payments.
Yes, ma'am, because I've been making the payments on that vehicle, but he's had it.
Do you have any evidence, anything to show me, anything that would make me lean in your direction?
I do have receipts, but I do not have them with me. But
what good are they going to do at home?
He knows he owed me this money. He knows it.
Okay, if we married, that means we bought the car together. The car's in both of our names.
I know the law. Don't worry about that.
Okay, so this is my question.
All you got to do is tell me the facts.
Okay, this is my question.
So let's go.
This is my question. Okay, when one down, the other one's supposed to pick up and pay everything, correct? So how is she gonna come to court saying I owe her for something that when we was married got together and she been paying it and I ain't even had it?
Stop it. You two have a whole lot of energy. You have a whole lot to say and a whole lot going wrong. You speak to each other and to me just all out of whatever. You're funny, so you get a pass on that.
Yes, ma'am.
But I'm just telling you, Mrs. Young, you need to be cool.
Yes, amen.
Your Honor.
You need to keep your hands off the clergy.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your children. I think you're decent people. I think you were cheating. I think you were running around, and I think you stopped. I think you made a decision to do better, and you are. I get that.
No,
I think that's
he hasn't done better, Young.
Believe it or not believe it, that's what I think is going on. And I think that you should go forward from where you are with that in mind. But listen, if you want to roll, let's not argue. You just get up and go.
Just one more thing, please.
Oh, no.
I don't put on my trash.
No.
This something good, though.
I'm about to explain the law and get the heck out of Dodge.
Yes, ma'am.
You have absolutely no way of demonstrating to me who's got the car and who had the car. Receipts or no receipts, I don't know who has possession. You got the car when you were together and jointly. Without him saying you had it and you saying him have it, the burden of proof is on the plaintiff. You have to give me something, some greater weight of the evidence that, in fact, he has been in the possession of the car. You haven't got any of that, so I don't know who to believe. When I don't know who to believe, the defendant wins because you are bringing the action. Having said that, I wish you and your children all the best. There will be no recovery in this matter. Amen. It is so ordered.
All rise. Amen. Parties may leave the courtroom.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
See? The judge even see through your mess.
You know what? No, she's seen through you. Whatever. I'm so done with you.
Ebony says that little has changed since she and Michael left divorce court. She says since the show, Michael has had second thoughts about ending the marriage, but Ebony says there's no chance she's going back to him. She is done and is moving on.